Hello my friends, today I will explain you about the friction. When a body is placed upon the another body, then at the contact surface a electromagnetic force will be developed between the contact surface of the both body. The magnitude of that uh, contact force is always will be equal but in opposite direction. That's why it obey the Newton's law. Suppose we have a block like that and I have another block. So if you put that block on that surface of the another block, then the contact surface is like that. Here you see the contact surface between the both body is here. So a contact force will be developed between that contact surfaces of the both body. That contact force is not necessary, it will be act as along the perpendicular with the contact surface. Let's see here the surface we have like that and another block is placed on that surface. So the contact surface between the both body is here. Okay. So a contact force will be developed between that contact surfaces. That contact force has the two components. One component is the perpendicular to that contact surface. That normal or perpendicular to that contact surface is called the normal force. And that normal force here I am denoting by the capital N F. And another force is parallel to that contact surface, means in the horizontal direction. So that is the horizontal direction, and that parallel, which is that force is parallel to the contact surface. So that is called the friction. And friction is always parallel to that contact surface. Remember that thing. And the resultant contact force is capital F. So that function for that body which is placed on that surface of the another body, and for that surface the similar function will be acted like that. The normal force will be here and the resultant force will be here and the friction will be here for this body. Suppose here that is the A body and this another body is the B. So that normal force, that friction force for this B body, and for A body that is the component. Got it? So they are the two components. If you place a body on the surface of the another body, then the contact force will be developed, and that contact force has the two components. Got it? That friction which is developed between the contact surface of the bodies, it has the two types. First is the kinetic and second is the static. Kinetic friction means if that body is placed on the surface of the another body, and that block is moved with velocity v. Okay, so that block we have, and that block is moving with velocity in plus x direction. So the friction will be always in opposite direction with the direction of the velocity, and that friction is denoted by the Fk, and it is called the kinetic friction. And static friction means if we have a heavy body like the almirah, so if you apply the force on the almirah, that almirah cannot be moved. So the friction will be developed between the surface of the almirah and the surface of the ground. That friction is called the static friction. Okay. Now for the kinetic friction, that kinetic friction is proportional to the normal force. Remember that thing. That kinetic friction is proportional to the normal force, and proportional constant is called the coefficient of the kinetic friction, like that. Fk is equal to will be mu k nf, and here mu k is the coefficient of the kinetic friction, and that coefficient is depend upon the material of the body. Okay, suppose we have a block of the wood, so the friction coefficient for this wood is mu k will be 0.35. So it depend upon the materials. Okay, got it? So now if we take an example like that, suppose I have a block and that block is moved with v velocity in that direction. Okay, so here now that is the block and it is moving with v velocity in the plus x direction, and the contact force which is developed between that contact surfaces, it has the two component. One is the normal force and another is the horizontal force. That is called the kinetic friction force, and it will be in opposite direction with the direction of the velocity. So here it will be the kinetic friction force, and due to the gravity, the force will be act on that block is mg. And now suppose that block has a mass 50 gram. Okay, and here I am taking the block of the wood. So for wood, the friction coefficient is the mu k 0.35. So if you put that value, what will be the kinetic friction force? Like that, Fk is equal to mu k capital Nf, and here mu k is equal to 0.35, and Nf at the equilibrium position, the Nf is the mg. So here Fk is equal to mu k mg, and capital M is the mass of the block. This one is the 50 gram. and in kilogram you can write 0.050 kg, and g is the acceleration, so you can take the 10 meter per second square. So if you put all these value in that formula, Fk is equal to 0.35 into 0.050 into 10, and calculate that, think you can get the answer like that, 0.175 Newton force. So if the contact force is developed between that contact surfaces of both body, so that friction, if you move that body in that direction, so the kinetic friction will be developed in opposite direction. So that kinetic friction is 0.175 newtons. Okay, so thank you very much.